Good evening and warm welcome to all the participants. We are delighted today to have Ms. Nupur Tewari with us. She's a distinguished guest with us. She's going to speak on the leadership of IKIGAI, and we are all set to learn from her. Ma'am, welcome. On behalf of everyone, I welcome once again to this leadership conversation. Uh, I will do an intro and then hand it over back to you for your opening remarks, ma'am. Allow me to share my screen, please. Yeah, these are WiseViews leadership conversations we hold every Friday. We have completed 115, and this is the 116th leadership conversation. As I mentioned, we are delighted to have you with us, ma'am. And this introduction and opening remarks will be for about half an hour, followed by another 30 to 40 minutes of Q&A. That is the agenda for the entire session. I take privilege in introducing Ms. Nupur Tewari. She's a transformation and mindfulness coach, founder of Heal Tokyo and Heal India movement, known internationally for award-winning transformation and mindfulness coaching. She works as a public motivational speaker, spiritual healer through activities like yoga consultation. She brings unique insight on Japanese culture and global outreach. Ms. Nupur believes in positive attitude. She is a proven doer from origins in her remote Indian village to becoming an international influencer in Tokyo. It is her dream to create a few thousand Nupurs, and those few thousands will make millions, and together they will make a better world. She leads a lot of social initiatives. Her proudest achievement was building a school for underprivileged children in India. She has led many successful fundraisers benefiting homeless and youth abroad. Speaking on the subject transforming people's lives, she took nearly 2,000 sessions at various universities across India and Japan. She facilitates online talk shows which focus on social issues, empowerment of women in business as well. As the first Indian-based talk show produced in Japan, it is strengthening the cultural ties and also business ties between both the countries. At home in Tokyo, as part of the Heal Tokyo project, she organizes regular free healing sessions where she is focusing on taking care of mental and emotional health as much as the physical body. She brings that possible energy to everything she does, from helping Japan's homeless to raising up underprivileged youth in India. She is the first Indian in Tokyo who covered Tokyo Olympic and took almost 30 interviews of Indian athletes, including Neeraj Chopra. These interviews are different from the usual and very much appreciated by both by the people in both the countries, athletes and members of parliaments here and there. She is the first Indian to pay tribute to 3 Indian heroes on 75th Independence Day who have direct connection with Japan: Raj Bihari Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Justice Radha Vinod Pal. She is the first Indian to march from the Indian embassy to Japanese parliament carrying Indian flag. Several accolades she has received from various organizations like Nargis Dutt Foundation, SBI Foundation, Global Mice, Marva Studio, Wokhart Foundation, PhD CCI, and was even chosen for the UP Book of World Records for being the most fabulous woman leader in spiritual healing, yoga, motivational speaking, and transformational mindfulness coaching. She received World Peace Ambassador title by the Wokhart Foundation too. She has become a popular personality. It's evident by now in Tokyo and abroad. Japanese media have called her an unofficial ambassador of India to Japan. Thank you so much, ma'am, for agreeing to speak with us this evening. I take one more moment to introduce my esteemed colleague, Professor R. Prasad. He's the director of academic wing at ICFAI Group. He has 3 decades of rich experience as an entrepreneur, as a corporate leader, and now as an academic. He holds BTech from IIT Bombay and PGDM from IIM Kolkata. He has published several articles, books, and papers in various fora in India and abroad. With this, I would like to give it back to you, ma'am, and request you to start your opening remarks. I must make a mention here that a large number of people have joined to listen to you this evening, and these members have come from all walks of life, like academics, armed forces, technology, sports, and And I'm sure from the field of arts as well, people have joined. So we welcome all of them once again, and we hope to together learn from you. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Rao, for having me and everyone. I would like to know how many members are there?
There are
Are
many
joined?
members. Yeah, there are many members who joined, almost 100 plus, and some of them are here on Zoom, and some of them are on Facebook Live as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be here, and I'm just let me tell you, I'm just back yesterday morning, and I'm still kind of I was in India almost a month, and I had to travel like all over India. I had to travel, and in between I became sick also, and so I'm still the all fatigue and the time difference, jet lag. I'm dealing with all those things. So today, it is very the next day, but I agreed because the last time we decided to have it, and I had to cancel it because of my health. But anyways, I'm really honored to be here with all of you. And when it comes to Ikigai, actually, let me tell you, this is my 20th year in Japan. Japan, when I, definitely when it comes to presentation, when the speaker tell everyone, we have a lot of slides and everything. I'm a very deep spiritual person, and I want to create leader spiritually, because today's world actually, in today's world, I think we have to be more compassionate than anything, even in leadership also. So I love to have the heart-to-heart conversation, the interaction, which actually I enjoy, and I want to give back. That is the best way, because I got my training not from the slides, not from any just watching presentation, but from the real life experience. I had my experiences being with Buddhist monks in Japan. I spent my almost entire life, 20 years. I have been living in Japan. I have lived 7 places of Japan, and the countryside to small cities. Now, one of the biggest cities in the world, Tokyo. But so I have all kind of experience. Before coming, Tokyo is a very commercial city where actually you will learn a lot of, like, just like any uh, uh, you know, just like any other commercial city in the world, like New York, it's just Bombay, it's just same kind of lifestyle. But if you want to know the ikigai or the lifestyle of Japanese, the leadership quality actually, so you have to go back to the little bit smaller cities or the countryside, where you will learn the way they have their lives. Now I'm going back to the ikigai way of leadership. Actually, ikigai, it's very, I want um, my love for both countries. Actually, platform is called Connect India Japan. Connect India Japan. It is not, because I know that I have specific knowledge for both countries, so I'm not doing it for the world. Since I have special knowledge for both countries, so I just made my organization called Connect India Japan. So here is what actually the word ikigai. It's not a very common word in Japan. Let me tell you. I have to, you know, um, I have to disappoint you. Let me just disappoint you a little bit. It is not a very common word. If you ask normal Japanese, what is ikigai? They will say, what is that? You know, because this is something in their lifestyle. They make leaders since 2 years old. So leader who take responsibility, the responsibility starts from yourself. When you're taking responsibility of you, when you're tying your shoelaces, when you're doing your everything, when you're cleaning your classroom, when you're cleaning your entire school, you're making a leader. So your leader is, after a certain age, that leadership is kind of mechanical. The leader this country is creating from 2, and before that also. Here, they have them eat by themselves, which actually they just making them responsible. So leadership is starting from there. So Japan is not creating leader from the university. They're creating leader since the age of 2 or before that, I would say. So they're aware of themselves. So Ikigai is starting from there. So if you come to, I'm very much associated with from last 18, 19 years from Japanese education system. And my Ikigai, actually the learning Ikigai came from there. It's not from, from a book. It's book, actually the way it explains, it doesn't work that way. I'm sorry to say that. And it is not the mainland Japan's concept. It's actually the Okinawa is a very small, tiny island. So that is tiny. It's very close to Indian tropical. It's a very tropical island that is called Okinawa. So those who wrote the book, they stayed there for 5 years. But anyways, so it is not something you can learn it from the book. You have to learn it with their lifestyle. So the leadership in Ikigai, I will explain how you can use it in your life when you're working in corporate, when you're creating leader, how you can help creating leaders. But before that, I have just a background, So that is why I didn't make any slides. It doesn't make sense, go to A, choose your days, go to B. I want you to just absorb it spiritually. As I said, as I started from, it is not mechanical anymore. Now especially after corona, that we understood that we have to be more compassionate. Life is really, it's a very fragile, and it's a short journey. It's not 200 years journey. It's a very short, maybe it can be 80 years, can be 90 years. I'm just being optimistic, I'm just saying. So we have to be very much creative with ourselves, with the compassion, and with others as well. So um yeah, actually very much I'm a yogi, so my base is yoga and Zen, and what you call Ikigai, definitely that is. So all these things very much needed, very much interconnected, I would say. So if I start talking, because I have limited time, I cannot just talk about everything, but you will be very glad to know the Japanese, actually the 80% culture came from India. So everything, the Zen philosophy, our chakras, our everything, very interconnected, very interconnected. A lot of Indian culture everywhere you'll find with the Japanese name, a lot of Sanskrit words in Japanese language also. But anyway, I'm not going back there. I'm not talking about the culture, though culture and culture, history, business, very much interconnected. But today, let me just focus the Ikigai way of leadership. So how I think you all know how Japan, the holistic approach of life towards life. So it starts from 2 years. Then when they go to the start their the first grade, at the first grade, they don't actually study the way we study. They give them the space. They make them plant, make this like plants. They make them grow plants. They clean their classroom, keeping their bags, how to keep their bags, how to keep their shoes, how to take off their shoes and keep at the appropriate place, taking them back to home on Fridays and bringing them back on Mondays, because they have indoor outdoor shoes in Japanese schools. Cleaning their classroom, serving food, be compassionate to everything. So these are the things actually become pillars of they're creating leaders from there. You wouldn't believe that the 1 year, the 6 years old first graders, they're just bringing the really heavy food from the kitchen to their classroom. I wish I had that liberty, because I cannot take photo. It is not allowed in Japan. Just, I worked there, but I did not take photo. They're so cute. They just take those food to their classroom. They serve, they're wearing apron. They have their, like this week, 5 students will do, next week, another 5. So they're creating leaders from there. They are not asking them to be engineer. If you go and sixth graders, if you ask the sixth grader students, what do you want to be? So they wouldn't say that, just like our society, they wouldn't say, I want to be just engineer or doctor or scientist. They would say, I want to be a truck driver too. This is the way a country creating leaders from there, because only engineers and doctors cannot create a country. There are different kind of leaders, different kind of, areas, the different kind of, so they are actually not obsessed with the way we are. So Ikigai is starting from there. Someone is anime maker. Someone is becoming weird profession. They are many, especially girls. They are saying, I want to be just daycare centers employee. Those kind of. So they know from that age that I have the skill for that. So here the Ikigai actually what you want, where is your skill, and you are merging both and you are finding your dream. You're taking yourself there. That is the Ikigai way. And they're actually having it from their very early age. They know what they want. They know they want to be patissier. They want to make sweets. So they just since that age, that is their passion, and that is something they want. So they're saying, I want to be a patissier. So this is not like something that they would be ashamed of. If I'm not an engineer or I'm not a doctor, they're definitely not ashamed of. They want to have their business. They want to be, daycare centers employee. They want to take care of children. Those kind of, because I like children. I want to be a nursery school teacher. So these are why you want to be, because I like children. So their skill and their passion, both are marching there. So this society, the Ikigai way leadership, they are making leaders since the very early age. And when they are going to the university, they are, they're becoming actually what they wanted to be since a very early age. Some are becoming soccer player. They want to be a soccer player. They're joining the team, some local team. They're becoming good at it, and they're representing actually the Japan. Even the international forum also. There are many examples there. So these are the things, the Ikigai actually, they're very late. Let me tell you, when I was taking a session this time also, one guy said, I wanted to be a musician. So now it's too late. I'm 4th year of my engineering. I never wanted to be an engineer. So now what should I do? It's really too late, I would say. But that is something which he can pursue along with his job. He didn't want to be an engineer, but he wanted to be a musician, which actually his skill was, but because of our system, he couldn't be. Now, what he can do, he can pursue the music along with his job, engineering job. Or maybe after some time when he will be retiring, maybe he can do something with that, having a restaurant or something where he can play those kind of things. So Ikigai now, it is the Japanese way of Ikigai. It's totally different the way actually we are raising our children, which we have to change. And of course, spiritual liberty, freedom, that is, when you can think by yourself without any pressure, that then you become more spiritual, spiritual totally. And as I said, when you can think by yourself, you're free. And so your spirituality is making you free, right? So now I'm going to the corporate, like the corporate actually we have, now corporate, when in Japan, when somebody wanted to be an engineer and becoming an engineer, so that is his passion. Even in India, any country, that is his passion. He wants to contribute 100% there. So that is the way he is finding his Ikigai. So there is no problem. Sometimes maybe someone is good at sales, but he's, procurement department, joining the procurement department. So here, as a leader, you as a manager, or you have to understand where I'm not talking about the, when you know what you want to do. I'm talking about when you don't know what you want to do. With respect and love. Yes, Sujata, thank you so much, everyone. And definitely I'm going to take questions because we have, I think, 1 hour, and I'll be definitely taking questions. So now the thing is that especially the corporates like us, any other countries, even in Japan, some corporates. So when you wanted to do something else, but you joined some other place, where actually you think you don't fit for. So as a manager, as a leader, when you have your team, you have to understand like where their skills are, Here you have to help them. When you lead a team, you have to help your team to find their ikigai. So to find that ikigai, you have to do a lot of brainstorming. You have to make them realize. Country like India, actually, we hardly find what we want to do, actually, because finding a job, it's still a luxury for many. Let us be very realistic. So here is the ikigai is when somebody is getting job, you are a leader, under you have a team. You have to just do a little bit with the compassion, with brainstorming that what exactly, yes, Six Sigma, Kaizen, everything is invented in Japan. That's true. So this is then you have to do the brainstorming with a lot of compassion. It's not you cannot be a dictator there. You have to feel like your family. You have to understand your each and every member, where their skills are. And accordingly, you have to put them. If somebody is, as I said, good at sales, and you're putting them in maybe, account department, I'm just giving an example. Definitely, he's not going to perform very well. So you have to understand where his skills are and what exactly where he can perform the best. So there you have to put your employees there. So then your corporate, like you will be helping your organization and your team member, your employees, definitely finding the ikigai in leadership. Actually, because most of the time we just impose. This is the target, you have to get it, without understanding our members, without understanding the employees, actually. So this is again the way I started. This is not anymore the way it used to be. World has changed, a lot of things changed. Before 2-3 years ago, we are not used to this, having online sessions, having online conversations like this. So world has changed. Now world is asking for more compassion and spirituality in leadership, definitely the holistic way. And Japanese education system is very holistic until at least compulsory education. Compulsory education is until 9th grade here, very much holistic here. So because there they find what actually they want to be and where their skills are. Until 9th grade, they find out what they want to be. Then, they make up their mind, what exactly they want to be in their lives. So here, finding ikigai in leadership, since our education system is different, we are talking about in leadership in corporate especially. So here we have to understand, as a leader, we have to create leader. A leader has to see leaders in others also, leadership. So that will make you a great leader. So that's why you have to do a lot of brainstorming. You have to understand where their skills are, what actually they want. You have to divert them to that direction. I don't know how much time I have before taking the questions. So, I would love to interact with you all, because this is something which I have learned in 20 years, not only in corporate. I worked for Mitsubishi, one of the biggest corporate. I worked for Japanese education system, take it from primary school to university, everywhere. I'm a coach. I take a lot of sessions at different universities, corporate here, and especially in both countries. As I said, my expertise in these both countries. I don't really,
Yes.
I want to concentrate in these both countries.
Thank you, ma'am.
So definitely. Yes, please, Mr. Rao.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This is a new journey for all of us who are part of this platform, and for the last 100 plus discussions and conversations that we have been having. This is particularly very unique. The fact that we don't understand much of it, and also the fact that there is something mystique and unique about it, has risen curiosity amongst us to actually come back to learn from you. That is what exactly it is turning out to be. We can't thank you enough for generating this kind of curiosity today. What you mentioned in the opening remarks is that Ikigai is not a very commonly known term in mainland China, mainland Japan. It is a way of life for them, and it starts pretty early in their lives, starting at the age of 2, which means culturally it is already ingrained into the society, the Ikigai way of leadership. And into the corporate world also, it calls for greater compassion to understand the co-workers and try and brainstorm with them in a greater detail to know what is their passion, where does their passion lie, and what is the requirement of the organization, and do the proper fitting between passion, competence, and the requirement of the organization, so that all of them are happy to contribute. And then collectively, we find our Ikigai. So this is the summary of your opening remarks. Thank you so much, ma'am. I want to also make a mention that we are joined by some distinguished individuals from UK. Sujata Garu, welcome she is joined from Wales. I particularly welcome her and all other distinguished leaders who have joined. There are enthusiastic participants who have been actually texting while the conversation was going on. We will take questions. It works like this. We have 2 clusters of questions. The first one will be taken up by Professor Prasad. After that, I will come back for the second cluster of questions. And during the second cluster, you can raise your hands and we'll open the mic directly to talk to the speaker. So if you can hold your guns till then, it'll be great. And I'll now request Professor Prasad to conduct the first cluster of Q&A. Professor Prasad, welcome and thank you.
Thank you, Professor Rao. Thank you, ma'am, for introducing us to what we are not very familiar with and what is extremely important in life. Of course, business or work comes with life, but what is extremely important in life. And we'd like to start with a personal question. How did you get to this mission that you're currently undertaking?
Is it your question, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So actually, again, I have to go back to my childhood. I'm from a very rural India, actually. I'm from a West Bengal, and I was born in a rural place, the district called Murshidabad. And in my village, there was no electricity, no road, no schools, nothing. So I belong to that place. So my journey from that village, actually in my village, the girls used to get married when they used to be like 13, 14, kind of. So Murshidabad is a large place, but I'm from a tiny village of that district. So so from there, my journey started. I just wanted to be, I'm from a very traditional family. So since 3-4 years, I have been doing yoga, mantra chanting. We have Kul Devta. So my base is totally traditional. So making the story short, I'd like to say from that village to, coming into Tokyo and doing what I'm doing, actually it is next to impossible for a woman. Even the men can get out. For a woman, actually, there was no support. I had no role model. We had no electricity. Forget about the TV. So I didn't know outside world anything. So I feel my life is kind of for a purpose, and purpose brought me. I left home. And Japanese company brought me to. Actually, I came to Japan, and first I didn't know what the thing. Since my childhood, I wanted to do that was explore the world. I wanted to know the world, beyond my imagination, the different color, different language, different kind of people. So many. I just wanted to explore the world. That was my only goal. I came to Japan. I just found a different world. Spirituality more came to. I didn't know that I'm so deep spiritual. So I just kept learning from Buddhist monks, shrine, kept visiting those places. Corporate. Then I joined the education system of Japan, and I just start learning. I would say the happiest time of my life. I forgot that, I can do beyond anything. So I would say, if you believe in energy, if you believe in God, it would be very easier for you to understand. If you don't believe, it would be a little bit difficult for you to understand. But I would say my life is totally a mystery. I feel like every day the universe prepared me to take this journey. The God prepared me to take this journey. And today I have been traveling like in these both countries everywhere. People, as you said, people call me the unofficial ambassador from India to Japan. So nothing consciously happened. I just kept working. And universe prepared me for this. And I'm preparing courses for the corporates and the universities. That is all I can say. Anything else, all who are watching, if you want to know, like it will take long time. My story is not that short. So you can Google my name with the right spelling, Tewari, not the TI. So you can know a little bit about me for sure. Thank you, sir.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent. I think you have opened the door to understanding, just as you had an open-ended journey, and you have also discovered as the journey went. I think that's what you're suggesting for the members to understand a bit more, but I think you have directed it in the right direction.
So you have to have the clarity and understanding with yourself first, actually. So that is, I feel that my vision was not that clear until maybe 5 years ago. I just wanted to do things. I was happy in my own space, but universe had different plan for me. So eventually I understood that what actually my goal is, and it became more clearer and clarity came in my life. Now I know actually what I want from my life. That is something I discovered, and I discovered myself and evolving every day.
Excellent, ma'am. Excellent.
During
this cluster, the aim is to help understand what the subject is in a given particular context before we come to specific questions. Specific questions will of course be there, but at this stage, we are coming to what this whole thing is all about. Now, when you speak, I'm coming to the other questions from the audience, but something which struck me is that what you're speaking seems to be the concept of dharma that is there in what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. It arises out of compassion. It is specific to an individual. It is for the larger good. And one has to understand oneself well, in order to demonstrate one's dharma. There are many good examples in the Mahabharata, but you seem to be headed in that direction. Can you give us some, sort of, because I'm trying to see what this concept is a bit more. So I'm using something that people may understand a bit more. So can you respond to that?
Sure, sir. Actually, in Japanese Buddhism, actually, they believe the Buddha is inside. Everyone has a Buddha. The way we believe Aham Brahmasmi, like we have the same, God inside us. So this is after learning the Vedic philosophy in my family, I came to Japan and the Buddhism I started exploring Buddhism. So from there, now this become, okay. So I just laughed at seeing the message that it become a universal subject. Everything is universal. We all are connected, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So actually, the thing is, then I understood that when I started exploring the Buddhism here, I understood that everything is so interconnected. Without understanding yourself, you cannot be a good leader. You have to have the compassion for yourself first, then only you can give that compassion to others. If you, today we talk about the self-love. I'm going back to your subject, actually, that 6 kinds of yoga is there, but the best yoga actually, say it is Bhakti Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga, when you do the Samarpan, when you surrender yourself, it can be anything. It can be to your family. It can be, today's world, we are more about taking from someone. We're just we hesitate to give it to someone. Even in a relationship, in a leadership, everywhere, in corporate, in a relationship, in family. And that is the problem actually we are facing. So the dharma, where you ask me, of course, the dharma is, it's a dharma and karma. Karma is what you do, the karam, and which comes back to you, the consequence. actually. So it is not only our Bhagavad Gita definitely says it, of course, but it's a nature of law, law of nature, actually. It's nature, what actually it says, that universe says it. And that is what actually our Bhagavad Gita teaches us. This is universal. This is not for one country. So yes, dharma exists, give back anywhere. These are all universal. It will work in corporate, it will work in family, it will work in any other organization, it will work in friendship, any relationship. When you will give more, you will see that the beauty that coming back to you, so it is everywhere. But I'm not saying that you have to totally sacrifice everything. Of course not. You have to understand where to put the stop, the period it. So that you have to know. And for that, you have to know yourself. With a smile, you don't have to be rude. With a smile, you can do that. You have to, that's the reason you have to know yourself, and you have to put a full stop, but you have to give it a period. So that's all. Dharma is everywhere.
Thank you, ma'am. I mean, yes, you have, responded to the question. And I think it is pretty clear that this is universal, and people adapt it to their own way of life and cultures and kind of history.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
True.
I come to the next question, ma'am. And this is, can you spend a little more time connecting this to leadership? Yes, you have talked about how children grow up in Japan and how that's going to help them to become better individuals and therefore better leaders. But can you connect it to leadership in society, leadership in organizations a little more?
Sure. As I said, that leadership starts from home, taking the responsibility. So when we used to have the joint family in India, so somebody used to be the leader at the, from entire family. So the oldest one used to be that. So that person used to take the lot of decision, used to take the responsibility as well. And we used to, we used to follow and obey, or whatever the decision used to take. So that is, it's a joint family. Even Indian system, we used to the leadership starting from home. So from there, it's not that we never had leaders in India. We had leaders, we still have leaders, and great leaders. But when we are talking about the Ikigai way of leadership, definitely the Japan is totally different. Japanese, they take responsibility. Our countries are different. We have to understand, our cultures are quite different, though our roots are same. A lot of, as I said, almost 85% culture came from India, but they modified their own way. So it is, and you will find more similarities today going to West than coming to Japan for different reason, for language, for food habit. You can eat pizza, maybe you won't be able to eat the Japanese homemade food. Forget about sushi is not everyday's food here. Sushi is sometimes they eat, so maybe you will eat sushi, but homemade food, which is actually for us, for Indian, tasteless it would be. So our countries are different, today's cultures are different, two countries, languages are different, food habits are different. Everything is very different here. It's a totally unique world. Japan is not, not very easy to adjust with, especially when you are with the Japanese society. So why I'm saying that, the leadership also very different from here. Six Sigma, Kaizen, everything came from this country. This country, why leadership? It was not leadership they had before Second World War also. If you remember, I don't know whether you read the Swami Vivekananda or not. Swami Vivekananda asked every Indian to visit Japan. And for their discipline, for their organized skill, for everything. They said every Indian should come to Japan at least once in their lifetime. So this is the thing actually why he said, more than a kind of 100 years ago, 18 something, he came here and he just said. So this is actually, they made their culture like that. So leadership is, then later after Second World War, they changed it to different way. Because before Second World War, it was different. After Second World, when the country did not have food, I have interviewed a lot of people who said, like, we survived only on fish. They used to just do the fishing and bake fish, and year after year, they said, their family. So they're actually, then after that, they had to be very determined to build this country. And there, that all those things came, the Six Sigma, Kaizen, to improve, how to improve the Toyota, the next car, how to improve the Nissan's next car, how to, every day they're more focused on research and development, R&D. So this is actually, they're making leaders. That one thing I want to say, what is the main difference between India and Japan? In India, we grow individually. I ask you will ask your son to be number one. Japan, they're a team. They're growing, as a team. They're not asking their sons to be number. I'm not saying that everyone not like that, but the culture itself said, let's grow together as a nation. And there are thousands of examples. So that is the main. So they are not making like one leader. They're making leaders, So the Kaizen, Six Sigma, that's Ikigai, definitely. Everything is very interconnected since the very beginning. So yes, it's not, when they are growing as a team, maybe 3 are becoming great leader. They have more focused than others. So they are becoming leader there. They're doing more and making others to, have that focus, have that focus there. And another thing I would like to say there, that do you know that Japanese companies, now it has changed a little bit though, Japanese companies, they're just like our government companies. They just loyalty system. When they join the maybe 22 years, they join as an engineer or whatever, and they retire from the same company. And it is very, very common, like normal in Japan. So it's very easy. Like the person I worked with, he joined as a factory worker. He kept giving different, he had skill. He needed little bit degree. He kept giving all the exams. And when he retired, he was the factory manager. So this is the difference. So they made leader from there. As a worker, he joined, he retired as a factory manager. So, these are the difference we have to understand. We have to make leaders from us. We have to grow together. And I think around us, a lot of leaders, just we have to give little bit compassion and confidence.
Fantastic, ma'am. Fantastic. There's a supplementary question which I'd like to put in, because now we've understood a bit of what Japan is doing and that its context is different. This way of how Japan has done has brought it prosperity. And of course, discipline is wealth. But I'm sure with prosperity come fresh challenges. And there are also problems within society. So how do you understand Ikigai with respect to those challenges and what needs to be done? And this question is not coming from a Japanese point of view. This question is coming from an Indian point of view, so that we learn.
Mm-hmm. You mean to Japanese society? In Japanese society?
Yes, because maybe in another 10, 15 years, India will also be far more prosperous. Okay, so that also brings its challenges. So what is it about this implementation of Ikigai or the way of life, which still needs to be looked at in order to tackle their challenges?
So, Ikigai, when we are starting Ikigai, we have to be a little bit flexible in our head, that we have to make our children, starting from home, we have to make our children that it's okay to be, not to be what your parents want. Just ask yourself. Having again, I'm going back to my session. Just had few days ago, one of my, one of the universities, and that high school, one of the best schools in India, and one guy just came to me crying. I said, I want to be something else. My parents want me to be something else. So here, how that person will find the Ikigai? You understand, they are having communication. Number one, communication gap. Number two, the respect is that parents are losing their respect because he's just fighting with them to do something else. Now, here is the thing where actually Liberty Japan has, Japan does not impose that much. I know, I know the society. So they don't impose, they just leave it to them, like what exactly you want to be. And they do, they have the counseling with their teachers, with their professors, and of course parents also play big role. So in our society, maybe 1% we have changed, maybe urban India we have changed, but still I think even the take 10% changed, but our 90% still the way used to be. So now where they will find that Ikigai will stay as only a word for us. We cannot find where our skill is, where actually we want to be. That has to be at least from the before high school, before we take some our science or commerce of arts, before that we have to do that. So it's not the moment we will stop imposing, we will just stop seeing our own dream in our children, then I think our children, it will help our children to find their Ikigai, and they will become the better leader for the world. They'll become better leader for their lives. They'll become better leader for the society and for the country and for the world. Now, India is a very young country. We are just 77 years old, right? So I think our society is it's a diverse country. Lot of languages, lot of cultures, lot of things, and lot of religions are there. So Japan, why it is easy for Japan? Japan is only one language. You have to understand, again, going back to the culture and society, only one country, only one language. Japan is the first, they think they are Japanese. So this is very easy for them. They just put everything for their country, for their society, for their country. So we Indians don't think that way. Maybe I'm not blaming. As I said, we are a very young country. We will reach to that stage, but it will take more efforts, more time there to reach there. Yes, Japan is facing its own problems. Japan had a lot of suicidal rate also because their own, again, it has nothing to do with Ikigai. It has their, they don't open up. Japan doesn't open up. Japan is very closed society. They want to keep everything in themselves. So they need lot more counseling for in different topics. But yes, every country has their own problem. But yes, Japan, the way they build their country, they admirable. Every day they amaze me. From last 20 years, every day they amaze me. The way, you don't have to be rude. You can be polite and you can get your work done. Their IFS officer in Japan, they say that we get paid because of your tax money. So we have to be more polite than you. We are responsible to you. We are, accountable to you. We are, we have to deliver the best. So now you understand how the society is. But again, going back to the subject, that everything, culture, business, everything interconnected. So we have to change our society. We have to change the way we think. Then we are producing world leaders. We are producing Google's CEO is so many CEOs we have produced. But the thing is that, again, here you have to understand, we have given the CEO for the Google. We are not yet able to create Google on our own. We have to create Google on our own. And for that, we need Ikigai and those, team spirit. So then we will be able to have our own Google.
I think you have connected very well with the question, ma'am. And I think the pertinent point is related to India and how it applies to India. While there may be other problems which are there, I think the pertinent point is what it relates to India. I think this leads us to the next question, which has come from the audience in different ways. And I think the question is that what are the suggestions, specific suggestions? I mean, you did make one about parents and not imposing yourself, but what are the specific suggestions, practices, what you call, to-dos? There are some to-dos which India as its present stage of evolution. I mean, very ancient culture, very diverse, coming up with a lot of opportunity, lots of things opening up, lots of developments. And yet, what kind of suggestions would you give us from Ikigai which we can keep in our minds and pass it on in our evolution?
And for the I think young people, you would say, or for the
I
leaders in
think
the
from the
corporate?
audience, there is an audience in education. So there's one related to university, which is coming up, but I'll include it in this question, but also for practitioners at their workplace. So both for education, which includes young and teachers, as well as for the world, which includes organizations and society.
So I think, again, we have to go back to the basic. I think the dharma in our everything, we have to go back, because end of the day, we all are mortal. We have to leave this world. This is actually connecting us together. We have to making us what we are. So it doesn't matter, you believe in religion, you believe in God, you believe in universe, you believe in energy, but the one thing you have to believe in, we are mortal. You have to leave this body. So it is not something which actually which will make us who we are.
Sure, ma'am.
I have a suggestion to the audience. Please reserve your energy to ask questions. If you type so frequently, it might also disturb the speaker. So I would request you to correct all that and frame questions so that we can sharply focus on the question and seek answer from the distinguished guest. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And sorry for inconvenience. So yes, so this is actually when you understand this life is a journey, which actually the Japanese philosophy also, so this Japanese philosophy also the same, our Indian philosophy same. I think all our philosophies are same, that we are mortal. Doesn't matter we have reincarnation or not. Forget about reincarnation, then we will start debating. So we are not going to go for that. So here, but this is actually, everyone will accept that this is, we have to have this life, keep this body here somewhere, under the soil, or we have to burn, whatever. So the thing is that when you have that, you understand that journey of you are becoming, you are born, then you are having different stages of life, and different stages of life. Like I was telling also one of the kid that if you are 8-year-old today, tomorrow, maybe the next, it is not, you are not going to go back to the 7. You have to have the 9, the next would be 9. And we all know that, but we all know subconsciously. We don't know, we don't make ourselves realize that we are actually becoming, we are losing it. It's, forget about we are growing old or not. We are always say, oh, we are old. Forget, we are maturing. We are losing one day for your life. So you have to understand exactly who you are. You are a human being. You're born here. You have to do something. It's such a waste of life if you just commit suicide. This is not something you were born for. So forget about committing suicide. Now we have what? You have life here. So forget about even society. You have to understand the self-realization, self-understanding, that what exactly from there are a lot of opportunities, what you want to do with your life. And very early age, let your children have those stages of life. Don't expect, a 5-year-old to do, have the thing what a 15-year-old is doing. Stop comparing your children with others. Instead, make them realize, having the great time, what they can have at that age. That age is given to have innocence. That age is given to have, a lot of mischief. Let them do that. Let them do. Then only they will learn from every stage has different kind of experiences. Let them have, without those experiences they grow up, then their life is not complete. So every stage, let them have those experiences in their lives, every stage. But at the same time, make them realize, as a parent, I would like to request you all, make them realize what actually they are not becoming old, but they are becoming responsible towards their own life. Before they take charge of any project which their corporate or their school is giving, their life is the biggest project for themselves. That the moment they will realize that this is a project, nothing else. Every stage you're maturing with the age. Every stage, different age, different kind of feelings, different people will come. So you are just completing one after one. But for other people, the project, but your life is total one project. And your responsibility towards yourself is making it a success. It's not that you have to earn billion dollars to make it a success, but you have to fulfill what you expect from your life. And that has to be positive. That is the way raise your children. Then if somebody is raised that way, that person will become a good leader for the society, for the corporate, and for anywhere he goes or she goes. Trust me, it is going to happen because he or he is responsible towards his or her life. And that person will, quit if there is something she is not comfortable, what actually not serving her. She will quit and get something better or do something better in her life because she has confidence in her. That confidence is very much important for us.
Very good, ma'am. I think, what you have communicated is that first, let them be. Let them be.
Exactly. Let them be who they exactly.
The second point that you've connected is give them opportunities and experiences, which will show them the way, which will help them realize what's happening with them, as well as show them the path to the journey. This is what I thought I understood from what you said. Of course,
Yes.
you've said many things, and I'm sure the audience also understands. I think I'll come to the end of this cluster. It was to set a platform for further discussion and questions. So I hand it back to Professor Rao.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ma'am, it's very interesting. It continues to be little different for us to understand and fathom. But at the same time, it finds applications in our own everyday life and work. The second cluster of questions and answers will be more of applications in terms of how do we use it, how do we apply it on a particular specific area that is challenging us. And so there are a few questions which we'll take. And the first one I take, in the meantime, I ask all the audience members in the audience to raise their hand, then I'll open the mic for them as well. So the question is, how does a leader handle conflict within the team? In the IKIGAI style?
Yeah, so very good question, actually it is. And I think we all face that in our organizations. So the conflict in the team, definitely, we all are different. Our minds are different. You cannot expect that everybody thinks same. So, and that is the beauty, actually. If we would have thought or had the same kind of thing, life would have been boring. We think different, and that is interesting. And you have to use that, how we think. You have to, as a leader, when you have it, what I think in the beginning, when I started, I mentioned that being a leader, it's like you have to do a lot of brainstorming. Brainstorming means the counseling. Actually, the counseling is different when you're doing counseling. Doesn't mean it is you have some problem or something, you're going for counseling. You have to do counseling for your team as well, and there will be conflict. You cannot take it for granted that I will have all the peace. We'll have all the no problems in my team. Definitely, this is going to have. You have to. This is for. You have to take it for granted because we think different. We all think different. I think different from my mother. Your son must be thinking different. That is very interesting. I find it very interesting. It is not conflicting. So you have to listen. To be a good leader, you have to listen to your team. That when you are having the conflict, and you have to have that. You have to make your team members to believe in you. It's like a father, head of the family. Think about head of the family. Head of the family has you cannot only order, you have to take the responsibility as well. So you have to listen to everyone. If somebody is having problem and conflict or whatever, you have to listen and you have to just counsel. Like, it's not that always you are right. You have to have the communication. You have to total prominent communication with your team. So there, it's not I'm the boss and what I will say, you will do it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. After 1 year, that person will quit, or maybe will be under stress, lot of stress. And that is the reason we see a lot of corporates are having a lot of stress. I'm not saying that having stress, little bit stress is totally fine. It will give you, the kind of challenge to excel. a little bit. It's not stress. It's a challenge for you. But when the stress level is becoming too much or higher than that, this is something threat to your life. You're forgetting who you are. You're totally forgetting. So we have to make sure that you are the lead. You are the head of that family. You have to take care of your team, listen to them, counsel them, have the proper communication with them. Conflict would be there. And like two children, when you have two children, you have to just understand each other and communicate with each other. And if needed, say sorry and hug. The same way, the way we do in our family, we have to do it in our corporate as well. There is nothing, we all are the same, basics are same. We are just giving, fancy names, nothing. Be a compassionate leader. Be a compassionate leader. You'll see people are getting attracted to you. And they'll come, they're opening up. And it would be very much needed for you. It would be very much helpful for the organization. That much I can say.
Amazing, ma'am. Thank you very much. It really connects us to this practice and little more practically in this answer that you have given to us. What you have suggested is that the fact that everybody cannot think alike makes it a little different, and therefore conflict is bound to happen. And when such thing happens, the leader will have to sit down, open up and talk and listen to the members of the team, take their diverse opinions and views, and make sure that there is a unison in the action at the end of the day by making the team members believe in you as a leader. I think that's very good. The other side of which you mentioned, which is more profound, is conflicts will definitely, if unresolved, lead to stress levels among employees and team members. And the stress levels are a threat to one's life. And therefore, it is the utmost responsibility of the leader to de-stress their team members by helping them touch base with the reality and resolving the conflicts. That's a fantastic takeaway that you give. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to take another question, which is with me. This is on mindfulness. How do we practice mindfulness? Give us one or two practical steps encouraging or motivating our team members to practice mindfulness at work and in their lives as well.
When I'm talking to you, sir, and if I'm thinking something else, then I'm not doing it mindfully. So you have to be present what you're doing. When I wake up in the morning and just, my brain is like, I have to go to office there. I'm just somehow just eating my breakfast and I'm just pranayam doing like that. I'm not present there. And I'm just subconsciously. So being present is mindfulness. What you're doing consciously. You're even drinking the water, that is also you're falling. I'm not saying falling in love, but you're doing consciously, you're drinking consciously. So this is something you have to do every day. When you wake up and open your eyes, like my bedroom, I give my example, there's a blue sky every morning in Japan, I'm talking about. So I just look at the sky, I just admire the sky, and that I'm doing mindfully, I'm present there. So this is mindfulness. You don't just schedule, you have to have your own schedule. You have to, I'm sorry, my Japanese, language is coming, words are coming on the, like jikantori means with the time, you have to maintain your schedule. Definitely. You have to have, everybody has 24 hours. So we are not going to have the 28 hours, but I wake up, I admire the sky, I do my pranayam, I do my yoga within the time frame, I eat my breakfast, then I leave for home. Everything I'm doing mindfully, I'm present there. I'm not doing with something else, and so be present. As I said, it's your life, it's your project. You are not, when you buy actually very expensive car for yourself, take it car, there are many car lovers, I'm sure, among you. And would you like to give it to someone else, someone just who doesn't know how to drive really well? Would you like to give it to him to drive? I'm sure you are not going to give it to him. You will try by yourself, right? Your life is the most precious thing you are given. Most precious thing. So you have to do everything mindfully. And you have to understand what is good for you. Like in the morning, definitely do a little bit yoga, pranam, whatever, little bit exercise, even little bit stretching for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Just jump 3, 4 times. Just dance a little bit. Be a child, and then after that, start doing whatever I'm not saying that everything every day possible, but meditation, of course, that is a different subject. This is a deep subject, meditation. Meditation and mindful is totally different. Meditation is, I do meditation every day, but that is totally, it will take you, it will help you to understand who you are. It will help you to take you, elevate yourself, it will help you to evolve. It will help you to have patience. It will help you to deal with your anger. A lot of meditation has a lot of positive sides. I would definitely love to suggest everyone to do meditation. It is not easy for the beginners, but try, please try, even for 3, 4 minutes also. But again, I'm coming back to the mindfulness. Mindfulness means do things consciously. Even if you're smiling consciously from your heart. So do it. Your life is the biggest project and the most precious one. Do everything mindfully. Be present there and do it.
Thank you, ma'am. Apart from the suggestion that we need to do yoga, and apart from the fact that we have to be consciously be present in every activity that we undertake, it is easier said than done.
True.
It is
Very
easier
true,
to preach than practice. What would be that one practical step that we can tell our team members, even ourselves, to enhance mindfulness in workplaces?
True. So nothing is easy. So everything is difficult actually. What we practice, we become good at it. If you practice cricket every day, I'm sure that, at least if I cannot play cricket, but if I start practicing after 10 days, at least, I can just do a little bit. So try at least one act in a day. Try, if you do like 100 of tasks, one task mindfully, you're present there. And here the pranayam. Definitely, if you are not able to concentrate, then even if you are not able to concentrate, just inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. This is pranayam vastika, actually, but you don't have to remember any name or anything. Just deep breathing. Just deep breathing for 2, 3 minutes, and your concentration would be there, that you are inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. So that start from there. You will understand that every day, no practice makes you perfect. This is actual, not only, this is not a sentence, this is actual real. And another thing the Buddha said, what you believe, you become. And very true, very true. Actually, this is very true. I'm not saying anything here which I haven't experienced. I'm that girl who was born in a village without any formal education, actually. I went to one government school, actually, Bengali medium. And I did my university and everything though. But trust me, I have proven everything. And if I wanted to be something else, I would have been. I didn't try. That's why I'm here, what I'm doing. So the thing is that just believe in that. Just give yourself that feeling. Everybody has problems in their lives. Don't make your problems bigger than your solution. If you have the problems, you have solution as well. Everything we say that it's easy to say, but difficult to do. Make things easy to do, difficult to say. Make things totally opposite. Sometimes people cannot explain. I was a girl who couldn't even say a word. Today I'm talking in front of you. So just, your life make your life is best example. I don't follow any guru, anyone. I follow only one person, that is Swami Vivekanand. And since my childhood, and my parents, and this universe and God, whoever you call God. So just make your life the best example. Your life is the most precious one. Save it. Then you can give more to the people. So yes, just little by little, every day, little by little. Today, if it is 1%, tomorrow 1.5%. Little, reach there. Never
Great.
give up. A bit.
Thank you, ma'am. I think there is an underlying framework in what you're saying. One is in terms of doing things infinitesimally but repeatedly so that it becomes a habit, and over a period of time that becomes part of what you are. And
Exactly.
before that, you made one beautiful statement, that is, you become what you believe.
Yes.
You become what you believe, and therefore we need to be consciously practicing these things with the belief that you will be that something. And if that is kept in one's own mind and does all the things, the approaches are accordingly, then there's a consistency. The two leadership gurus that I recall here is, one is the flow concept of Mihai. Mihai suggested a flow concept where you find you're so immersive in the work that you do with all the mindfulness and the presence that you are unmindful of what is around you. For example, a musician who is playing a piano or any other instrument is so immersive in that the musician actually does extremely well, because after some kind of search, one has found the flow in oneself. That is compassion and the passion and competence together. And that's where we become extremely productive. So that is one, which is an underlying framework here, which is relevant. The second one is about the atomic habits kind of a concept which you have mentioned just now. I think these two are pretty relevant for us to take home from the response that you have given. Thank you, ma'am. I will now request Anita Raman to raise her question. Over to you.
Thank you very much, organizers, and thank you very much, ma'am. It was wonderful, in fact, listening to you. I just had one query. And before you were saying that, I also did practice Vipassana, wherein the Buddhist way of looking at the breath and being present. So whenever your mind goes off away from you, one of them, as you beautifully said, is to bring it back to the breath. And when you connect with the breath, then those thoughts go away and you become present. So that could be one of the things that you might be practicing. So my question here is, when you said that each child can be on their own, and when you are in the space of being a team leader and a team player, in the long run, say the potency of the child who knows that he is a team player, when it expands and wants to be a team leader, then there is a conflict that, you know, the power and potency which one truly has would become an impediment. And how do you address that? You know, I hope you got my question.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Raman, for your question, and I'm glad to hear that you do Vipassana. Any meditation, I would like to say there are, many of you, I'm sure that you do meditation. If you don't know how to do meditation, also don't worry. Just close your eyes. Even if you have, I don't know, if you have Ishtadev or the God you believe in or universe you believe in, just close your eyes, even concentrate on your breathing. So that will help you to be yourself. And this is one. The secondly, yeah, Anita, actually, again, I would like to say that each child to be themselves. Like if you don't make them themselves, then how they will know that who they are, what is their actually what they are capable of. Like in India, actually, I see that all the mothers are feeding their children, most of them actually. I'm just giving normal example. Please don't mind. No offense, actually. It's okay. Love is totally a beautiful thing. But until certain age, they even don't like to eat by themselves. They refuse to eat by, then they they go to school. When they start going to school, they're not eating their lunch. They're just bringing back their lunches and everything. So, small things really make difference. I feel that, of course, we have to be there for our loved ones. We have to be just around them, make them realize that I'm always here. If you need me, I'm not away from you, but it's you who will do your thing. It's your life. You can do that. Give that confidence. That would be my request to everyone. Give that confidence. You can do that. I'm here for you. I'm always here. If you need, if you face any problem, if you are not competent, if you feel, come back to me. I'll help you to solve the problem and make it happen. I think these simple things actually, like I'm a very simple person. Actually, I believe in simplicity. I really believe in simplicity. Like, if again, I'm going back to my basic, Swami Vivekanand. Swami Vivekanand, the guru was Ramakrishna Dev. So Ramakrishna Paramahansa Dev, Ramakrishna Dev actually had no education. He even didn't know how to write his name in Bengali. So he even didn't know how to do puja also. He didn't know much mantras, anything. He used to say that to Kali Mata, Ma, you eat and I eat. So it did not make him less spiritual, very less spiritual or less knowledgeable. He didn't know how to, he was not educated at all, So that they have to find their own way. Each child has so much potential, they're so intelligent. They're like, this, like Aham Brahmasmi, if you believe in this, it says that the entire universe energy is inside us. Empower them. Empowering someone, just let them be empowered since a very little age. It doesn't mean you don't have to ruin their childhood. Just empower them. Yes, you can. Otherwise, I'm here. If you fail or falling down from somewhere, I'm here to take care of you. But you can try. This is just simple thing in this practice in life. I'm not saying that you have to do that extreme. No, you have to do it. This is it. Just a little bit confidence, and that confidence will empower them. So empowering, like in India, I hear about that empowering thing, women empowerment, getting a job, having a salary every month. That is not empowerment. Empowerment is when you are able to make your own decision. That is empowerment. So empower him, empower her, that he or she can. So empowerment is very wrong way described in India. Empowerment is not. My mother used to be very empowered, and though she never worked outside, she never earned money, she used to take all the decision. There are so many rural women. They're working well. They're taking care of their families. They are empowered. It doesn't mean that because they don't work for the corporate, they're not empowered. Maybe someone is working for TCS in good post and at home beaten by the husband. You understand? Not able to take the decision to get out of that marriage. That person is not empowered. So I don't want to make things complicated. Actually, I just want to say that make that child, give the empowerment. He or she needs to be empowered. Yes, you can try. Otherwise, I'm here. That love, that compassion, with very simplicity. Do it. That would be my request. The rest, you are the life. It's your life. You are the project manager, the boss. Take your decision.
Great. I hope that answers Anita Raman's question. Are you okay? Is that okay?
Can I add a sentence if that's okay?
I was waiting for you to respond. Yeah, please.
Thank you. So when you empower a child or when you empower a person, he knows his capacity and he understands his power. Now, my question is, how would he gel himself as a team member than a team leader? Okay, when he knows his capacity,
So believe himself a first member, then the leader.
then how does one anchor that? So are we playing small by being a team member, by knowing ourselves? Or when you know that you have the potency, you no longer may be willing to connect to that, and then you wanted to be there. So that's my question. I hope I phrased it correctly. If I could answer, that would be wonderful.
So if when you are empowering someone, that person knows that what he wants, because you're talking about not a child, you're talking about some grown up, right? A team member or team leader, right? So you are talking about that person already empowered, and he or she knows what really he or she wants from her life or his life. So it would be easier for him or her to choose, he knows where his potential. He know the ikigai here, the skill, what he wants. The both are coming together. When both are coming together, it's like totally the bomb. Like, yes, I can, the totally confident person. So both are together now. That person knows whether I want to be a team leader or team member, a team leader or a team member. So maybe as a team member, he is joining somewhere and he finds out, no, this is not my place. I'll find out somewhere else or something, because that person is very much confident there. Without any conflict, he will quit and he will find his own place. Raise your children that way, that they know that what they want, and that is empowerment. Actually, that empowerment we all need without any conflict. Why should we in conflict? Don't waste your time on any negative energy. I'm not going to argue. If someone is arguing, a few days ago, I'm sorry, with a personal thing. I went to India, and one of the bank managers, actually I had some work. After dealing with few times, and he called me and said, ma'am, I think if somebody says wrong thing, also you will say thank you and go from there. I just I just kept laughing. Like someone even start saying some wrong words to me, I will say thank you and quit. I said, yes, I will do that. Why should I just waste my energy just talking to him, just arguing with him? Because he says I'm not going to give him power to affect my life. If I just start arguing with him, then I'm wasting my energy for someone who means nothing in my life. When I'm giving power, when I'm arguing with that person, it means I'm giving power to him to upset me. Why should I give him power to upset me? Right? So these are the things are empowerment and mindfulness. When you will practice everyday mindfulness meditation, and you will understand the real meaning of empowerment. Every day we all are facing a lot of problems. Don't you think, as a woman coming from that village, and today I'm in Tokyo, I haven't faced problems. I faced millions of problems from different society, different kind of, still I face problems. But this is the thing that I never gave up. I'm saying I gave the example from my own life, because I don't know what others are facing. I'm sure others are facing a lot of problems, and everyone does. Doesn't matter a billionaire or a homeless. So I deal with billionaire to homeless. I feed homeless in Tokyo. So I know that everybody has their own problems, and they're, so nobody's problem less. How you're dealing with it, that is the beauty. So emphasize on solution, not on the problems. Problems is very common. Problem is very common. It will come. It will every day. If you emphasize, if you just give importance to your problem, it is definitely going to be bigger, bigger, bigger. It will invade, totally occupy your brain, body, and everywhere. So you are beautiful, Anita. You're beautiful. All problems will go away. Just tell yourself, yes, I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I think that's a very insightful and profound question that Anita ji has asked. What she's trying to ask is, Ikigai makes you aware that you're going to be a potential leader. That knowledge of potency will become an impediment to you becoming an intermediary in the process of becoming a team leader. For example, you think you're a material of a leader, then you will not play the other role of being a member. So that was the conflict, and that was the question. I would like to respond to that in my own small way, is that take a cricket team, for example, and with our individual training and coaching, we get selected to national teams, and therefore our own coaches who help us in the training process, they empower us, they help us understand that you're going to make it big one day. Therefore, the cricketer, the incumbent, is fully aware that, yes, I'm going to be a cricket captain one day, I'm going to be a leader one day. But that doesn't stop them from playing very well before reaching to that level of captaincy. Dhoni has played extremely well, individual performance and team performance, gelling extremely well with the team members, because sport is a team activity, and one has to be collaborative, one has to depend on others, and it is an interdependent activity. Therefore, we collectively win. And those performances are seen by selectors and the viewers equally. And one has to wait for one's own time for becoming leader. But the path to becoming leader is not to actually abandon the role of being a team member or a team player. That is one thing that comes to my mind. Although the questions are on Ikigai, I'm giving ICFAI responses. Anyway, I'll request Professor Prasad to chip in if he has any comment on this specific question, and then we'll move to the other questions.
Yeah, I think what Nupur ma'am is trying to communicate is that true empowerment is where you understand and you're able to reflect within yourself, and these conflicts will disappear. So there is no question of being empowered and then not knowing. That means that there is some gap in empowerment, and I have to work a bit more on myself. And I think from there, so, you know, each of us are in different journeys, and that self-awareness that, okay, I may think I'm empowered, but when I face another problem, I realize that I need to improve. Right. So then I have to do what I have to do. And this setting in motion is what we can do for children, but later on they'll have to catch up with this. So this is what I have understood.
Fair enough. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Now I'll request Sujata Garu or Mr. Madhura. Maybe Mr. Madhura is there. Please raise your question.
Yes, good evening to all. And I have one simple question. First of all, thank you, ma'am. And listening to you is like listening to one of the good books. And in simple terms, let me quote. And I have learned one thing in life, that always try to keep the things simple. So in accordance with that, I just want to one thing, that Ikigai is all about finding the purpose in life. And I want to ask you how to deal with the distractions once the purpose of life is set. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, finding the purpose of life, sometimes you don't have to find it. It will find you. If you just every day just say, I need to find my purpose of life. You never know. The distraction, maybe you'll say, this is my purpose of life. That is my purpose of life. No, you'll be distracted. Totally. So trust me, it will happen. So let the purpose find you. You just do what you want to do in your life, what you want to do. And again, the Ikigai is your skill also matching what you want to do. And those things, if you are already grown up and something you are doing where you thought, which you did not want to do, but you have no choice, but do it with your all devotion, dedication, and determination. You will see that someday you're finding your purpose through that. Maybe that is not your purpose, what you're doing now, but it will take you, divert you to the purpose. Trust me, it will happen.
Great.
Just do with your all dedication.
Fantastic.
Purpose will find you.
Fantastic. I'm very enthusiastic about this response from you, ma'am. Thank you so much. What you're saying is, when there are distractions, probably you are not actually found your purpose. And probably that is a way to go towards your final purpose. And when you finally find your purpose, there will be no distractions. So that is fantastic. Thank you so much on that. I'll request Neelam to raise. Yeah, please.
Yeah, am I audible to you all, please?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful session. Thanks to ICFAI and thanks to Nupur madam. So nice of you, madam. You give very good insight. You're very right. Leadership is identified at a young age. When my son was in school, I was observing some children when they were playing. One short boy was actually able to guide the team members around them. And I could see the relevance. Even in my school class, actually, my monitor became a politician. And so the leadership is actually, as you very rightly said, from the childhood. It should be actually, it is generated by themselves based on their passion. And when now just now we were discussing about the cricket, at one instance of 1983 World Cup, they were for 5 wickets down for 17 runs. And the leadership of Mr. Kapil Dev stood at the wicket and he scored. And that built a beautiful spirit that was there to win to the last moment of winning the World Cup. So the point is, as you are rightly saying, that we need to also have patience for our leadership. It will transform. If you are really a leader, you need to have that patience. Thank you, Ram. I am Murli from Vedwak System. So a very good opportunity to you all for giving me to speak to you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelamji. And one more thing I want to add here, my own quote. Actually, I have very bad habits since my childhood. I hate to copy others. So I like what I think is just right. So my own quote, I would like to say that courage makes you immortal. Have courage in your life, because courage also help you, it will help you to empower yourself. And so courage is very important in life. Courage is not always, killing someone and all, doing negative stuff. Courage to take decision for your life, take decision for the right thing. So courage makes you immortal. It is my own quote. So having courage is very important in your life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Courage makes you immortal. That's a beautiful thing to follow by. Building our own strengths, being resilient to withstand challenges, and therefore mindfully focusing on something that you're good at. This is all part of courage, and positive courage makes you immortal in the sense that you will continue to do that and excel at for quite some time. So thank you so much, ma'am. I'll request Sujata Garu to raise a question. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks so much. It's a beautiful session. I think you spoke from the heart. I think I very homely, I feel, very connected to India, connected to Japan, right? Thank you so much. Ma'am, I think you also have that is in Japan, you find joint family system because you hail from Bengal. And again, you also belong to India. And again, you were in joint family system. Do you find the joint family system in Japan too? Because in India, now we are, facing obesity, and also we have become a diabetic country also. And because we have to depend on the staple food like rice and wheat, chapati and all. But compared to Japan, because they are, I could say that, maybe 80 plus are still very healthy in Japan, right? In India, we're facing health problems. What is the reason? Could you please throw a light on this? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sujata ji. And actually, yes, whatever I speak from my heart. And actually, it might sound a little bit not so professional. I never prepare my speech or anything. I definitely prepare my slide sometimes whenever needed, but actually for my speech or something, I never prepare. So everything comes from what I have inside me should help others, It's not, I don't believe in script, actually. So yes, everything is from my heart and from my experiences, whatever I said. So yes, the very good question that is where we have to concentrate. India has to concentrate. Actually, India, when I say India, we Indians, actually, we have to concentrate. We actually, we have so many diverse different food in different region, and so delicious, each and every region food. Like this time, let me tell you where I went to Bihar, I went to Jharkhand, I went to West Bengal, I went to Delhi, I went to UP, I went to MP, I went to Gujarat, then Maharashtra, then Bangalore, means Karnataka, then Pune is again Maharashtra, then I think very few state I did not cover. I'm forgetting few states name now. Like every state, almost, I think almost 95% India, I have already traveled this time. within a month, like one day in each city, kind of. I was just traveling like that, like hectic. It was very hectic. So, and every place has different food and so delicious. And we are so like hospitality. We love to feed our guest. So I was having so much trouble saying no. Saying no, I don't want, I'm sorry, I'm not disrespecting you, but I cannot. And I became sick also twice. Actually, I had loose motion and many things, Now, here is the thing where we have to actually put the period. Now, India is wonderful, hospitable country, like hospitality kind of best, anywhere you go, every state has its own cuisine, own kind of thing. Japan, where actually they're balanced, we have to copy here. Japan eats, really Japanese eat rice, 3 times they eat rice, but very simple way. They have one kind of like fish, kind of, they have different kind of, like one is the fish flesh, and they just put it there. I'm just telling you the summer how they eat in the morning, and green tea, and just eat rice and go. How simple. There is no fat. There is very little calorie, little bit carb is there, maybe little bit fat, very little calorie. At the same time, they're eating 1 or 2 eggs. I'm talking about those who are not vegetarian. Or if you're vegetarian, little bit add something protein. So every time they're eating meal, they are simple, yet nutrition is totally, they're making sure that they are nutritious. So here we have to, it's not that we have to eat like 2 laddus at home, or 2, now things are not so pure. You understand? Things are not the way our ancestor, maybe our grandparents used to eat. It's like real ghee, real thing. They did not affect us. We were not obese, or we were not diabetic, all those things. We did not face so much problems. But now things are not real. Different kind of companies are coming. There is a lot of competition. They have to sell their product. They have to. So how many people can afford organic product? Organic product very expensive. How many can afford, right? So we have to make sure that we are eating the first thing, self-love. Where it is coming from? Your stomach. You have to make sure that eating mindfully. We have lots of herbs everywhere in India. We have lots of great fruit. We have lots of seasonal fruits, which are not so expensive. Actually, you don't have to eat the imported food. Avocado. Why avocado? Avocado not our fruit or whatever vegetable. Coming from outside. So why not the seasonal thing? Why not the seasonal veggies, which are actually, we have to make sure that a lot of giants are coming. McDonald's, there are KFCs, there are a lot of junk food. Like every day you don't have to eat biryani. So the first thing that here I'm going to the self-love. If you love yourself, you have to make sure you're eating healthy. You're thinking healthy. Eat healthy. Make your, you don't have to eat cornflakes. It's okay. The normal, whatever, upma, if upma is your, regional food, then eat upma. If your idli is your food, eat idli. Maybe if you eat 3, make it 2, little bit less, every day less, where less calorie, less, do more exercises. Make sure you're doing it. When you see that let me tell you, I gained 10 kilos in India. I have to lose 10 kilos now. So when you realize that, yes, I have gained, just make sure you're losing it. Do fasting. You don't have to do any fancy fasting. Just, the way we have a lot of one day in a week, just drink water only. Drink coconut water. Another day only coconut water, something, you have to understand your body. Don't put your body, don't impose your body to, take a lot of, those are junk. Your body doesn't need it. Your body need nutrition. Your body doesn't need a lot of idlis, lot of dosas, lot of biryanis. Really, they don't need, it doesn't need. So start with self-love from your body. Love your stomach, love your body, and eat less nutritious. And that is the way, if I start talking about Japanese food habit, they're the best. Someday I will come to Hyderabad, I'll come to you, I'll explain how Japanese live their life. Really, they are very slim. They do their exercises. If today they are eating some fried food this tonight, then next day they are not going to, they will be very simple. And finish your dinner very early by 7. Definitely finish your dinner by 7. And dinner should be less, very less. And no fried food at dinner.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So the takeaway is that self-love is important. If you love yourself, you take care of yourself in terms of exercise, food, and right thing, appropriate thinking. And you love others, you will also take care of them in equal measure in all these aspects. Thank you so much. We have had a reasonably detailed conversation on this topic. You have patiently responded to so many questions and helped us understand the concept of Ikigai, the leadership techniques, how some of these concepts can be put into practice in our own context of work and life. It's been pretty interesting. But there is one question which I would like to ask you. Maybe this is the final question, and then we'll close it with your permission. Ma'am, of late, we find many students committing suicides due to stress and being unable to cope up with their learning capabilities. Would you like to send any advice to such students?
Yeah. So again, the students who are actually committing suicide, they did not empower themselves, neither they have self-love. Is it only the becoming that engineer, doctor, or someone is the end of the world or your life? Why do you have to end your life? This is not that why are you born? You know, there are a lot of the moment. I would say the parents, please, my request, please communicate with your children. Please don't give them extra pressure. Already India is 140 crores people are there. Don't give them extra pressure. Instead, give them confidence, empower them. You don't have to sell your land to just send your child to a certain engineering college. Instead, tell them, we have this land, think what you can do from this land. What kind of, bring Miyazaki mango and sell one mango is 2,000 rupees. It can happen too. How innovative you can be with this land. Finish your finish your bachelor degree, free government college, and start with this land, what you can do. Everything starts from home. This is the way you have to believe in your children. You have to believe in your daughters, your sons, and they have to be empowered. Here, your help is very much needed. Very much needed. You have to raise them well. You have to stop comparing. Somebody's son is becoming the number one in the class. You are not. He's becoming engineer and getting 18 lakhs per annum, and you could not even get into the engineering college. Don't say that. Say what you can do, what you want to be, what actually give little bit challenge to him. And tell, what is your limitation? This is my limitation. This much I can afford. And this is from now, it starts your duty, what you can do from there. Instead of giving pressure, give them challenge. They'll take it, positive challenge. And you never know. Your son maybe, turnover will be few crores from that small land. So this is the way. And the students, even if you're to all the students, I'm addressing to all the students, your life is precious. Your life is very precious, and you are born alone. Doesn't matter. Your parents gave you birth. They just gave birth to you. Your life is yours. Your life is your biggest project. You have no, authority. How dare you to end your life like that? It doesn't mean that because your life is yours, it doesn't mean you will end it like that. So let go is a kind of many people cannot take it that way. We have to tell, parents play a big role here. And students, if you're really after 18, think what you can do best in your life without comparing yourself with someone else. There are a lot of potential. You have everything inside you. Counsel with yourself, self-counseling. Start self-counseling, what you can do, instead of just putting negative thought that I cannot do anything in life. Anything is possible in this. Take the example of anyone. Take the example of Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister. He was just a small village boy. Today is the Prime Minister. He is the biggest largest democracy of the world. Anything can happen the moment you will put the confidence in you. You'll empower yourself. You don't have to be Prime Minister. You don't have to be the Infosys owner. You will be your own thing. You'll create your own thing. Think about that. And your life is very precious.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. The message is to communicate with the children and not get taken away by the mad rush or the obsession for putting them into popular streams like engineering or medicine.
Swatiji said self-stressed. If you are a parent, please make sure that you are not giving that stress to your children.
Correct. Students are self-stressed with own targets to achieve, but I think like the IKIGAI in workplace, for example, in the corporate setting, if the leaders do not act like parents, they won't help their team members understand their stresses or help them de-stress themselves, because stress is the biggest threat, whether it is in work or in life. Similarly, the parents at home will have to help the children understand that. I think the focus of your action is not measured by the outcome alone. I think involvement in the process of building the children or building the team members is extremely important. Selling the land to get a seat, vis-a-vis spending a lot of time with the child to help understand the possible career options within what we have, is a very important aspect. I think touching base with one's own realities and competences and moving to the next level after that is a very, very practical way of handling these stresses in society as well as in workplaces. Ma'am, it's been a wonderful session. I'm very honest in saying this, that this has been pretty different from the rest. Very new kind of understanding that has crept into us in terms of Ikigai, in terms of leadership, in terms of the culture of that country, Japan, and how culturally it is intertwined with them without being in your face kind of a branding called Ikigai. It is their way of life. In work as well, in life as well, they have taken it to practice and making it a very, very useful and making it a better place for them to live in the society. I think we need to learn a great deal from them. I'm sure all of us will go back and try and apply some of these concepts in our own way. And of course, we will have conflicts while applying or trying to relate it to our own situations. At the time, we'll come back to you, we'll write to you and seek your responses on email. For now, what we'll do is this session will be, the recording of the session will be looked at and we'll write a summary. I will share the text summary with you, and once you approve, we'll put it on our archives, and we'll also put the recording on our archives for all the members to go and look at it during their peacetime. These days, all of us are struggling with the pressure of time. Whenever it's convenient, they can go back and look at our website and they can find these things. But learning will have to continue. New concepts will have to be applied into our existing situations, and then we become more confident, we become more successful, and we become a better society and a better nation. With this message and with this learning, we would like to thank you profusely for your time, expertise, and energy in helping us see the beauty of Ikigai. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let me tell you, this is 12 o'clock already in Japan. So it was really almost 2 hours we talked, and I really had a wonderful time. And for the last time, actually, I could not do the session. For that, sincere apologies.
No problem, ma'am. No problem. You're in the land of midnight sun. I'm sure it is going to be a sunrise there. I really don't know. But thank you so much for your time, in spite of the jet lag that you've had recently traveling back to Japan. We'll keep in touch with you.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, the friends who have joined for our conversation, thank you all very much. We'll see you next Friday, and we will communicate with you the next leader and the lessons potentially that we can learn from the next session. Till then, keep Googling and keep learning about Ikigai, and keep knowing about the transformational and mindfulness coach that Ms. Nupur Tewari is. Thank you, and see you next time. Do take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
night and Jai Hind.
Good night. Jai Hind. Oyasu minasai. Arigatou gozaimasu.